Right, so we have 17, so we have everyone, right? Okay. All right, let me start. Okay, so is everyone here? Good morning. Anybody say
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Okay, so I understand that you are in the room, your room in the dorm. So it's not a perfect place to talk about this big topics, but anyway, we can start. Okay, so this time is very challenging, but we will go forward. Okay. Actually, Rory asked me about the simulation. Okay, the course idea or course code, whatever. Okay. Um, I need some time to work with them. Okay, to set up a course. Okay, I am ready, but they are not ready to work on it. Okay? Because this is the beginning of the class, so they have a lot of things to do. Okay. So, I got a couple of questions about the simulation ID, course ID, but it's not available yet. Okay, I'm gonna work on it. Then I will let you know probably in a couple of weeks before we start the practice round. Okay, I will provide it. Okay. Until that time, you can just visit the website. Okay, website, and then you can just navigate what the game is. Okay, it's I don't want to say it's a simple game, but the format is simple. So you run your own cafe, but you make some decisions. Okay? So format is simple, but you should make several decisions, and when you make decisions, some other things, external things happen, or internal things happen. So you should manage all of this. Okay, then your performance will be ranked. Okay, so your team will compete against each other. Okay, so and uh, yeah, so my focus, my purpose of this game is very simple. You're learning. Okay? You're learning. Okay. If you learn something from this game, I'm gonna be with you. Okay, I'm gonna be with you. My role should be something like a consultant. So I'm not gonna do your game instead of you, but I'm gonna see your game. Okay? I'm gonna see your numbers. Okay? I'm gonna see your strategy. Then, if there is anything I can interfere or advise or suggest, I will. I will do my job. Okay? So don't worry about that. Okay. As time comes up, we are going smoothly. Okay. All right. So, how was the paper? So today we are supposed to talk about my paper. Okay. So it was a very simple paper, but it's not right now because many people read this paper and then they started to think about this phenomenon. Okay. Because this is a sort of the beginning of the conversation about this topic. Okay. So how was it? Anyone? Did you read this paper? How did you feel?
Oh, like I said before class started, this I never really thought of science as like a way to get like famous like that, other than like Einstein and things like that. And it just like made me think of like other scientists that have done things and have gotten like really famous off of those things, and like
All right.
become well known.
Exactly. So actually, Jamal pointed out the actually Jamal's starting point is very okay. When I started this project, my thought was very simple, very simple, and naive. Okay. I saw scientific celebrities, okay? Like Stephen Hawking, all right, Stephen Hawking, very famous. And then I just thought, okay, Stephen Hawking, is it good for him being a scientific celebrity? Okay. Is it good for me? It's good for other scientists. Because this time is going through the pandemic. Okay. So actually this topic is more important. Right? So this is about the nature of science and the scientist. Okay. Then how a scientist can impact others. Okay. So let's talk about that. All right. Let's talk about that. Okay. And I just want to know. I want to know there are two parts. Okay. The story part. Okay. The language. All right. Probably you read this part and numbers. Okay. Some tables and figures. How was it? Numbers. Did you understand these numbers?
Some of them, yes, for the most part. Some I had to read into a little bit more.
All right. Okay. So if you say some, what is that, percentage of your understanding, all right? So your understanding level of the numbers are about what? 50% and 40% or 90%?
I would say around 50 to 60% of most of it.
All right. So did you have any class about the regressions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Oh, you didn't take it, but your understanding level is 50%. All right, it's good. So I will assume that you understand the story part, okay? But the number part, your understanding level is 50%. So based on that, I will do all right today meeting. Okay. All right. So scientific celebrity competition and knowledge creation. Okay. This is the case study. Okay, in South Korea. I'm originally from South Korea, so I know this story. Okay, I know this story, and actually, I was involved with this happening in South Korea. Okay, all right, let's go. Okay, so this time, okay, I want you to get together with your team. Okay, then share the story. Okay, so you can share each other. Okay, if you help each other. If somebody doesn't understand that, you can help. Something like that. Okay. So what is the story about? You can share. Please share the story with your team. And the question is discuss this paper in the framework of two fundamental concepts. We talked about the efficiency, effectiveness, right? Efficiency, effectiveness in the management, right? So this is an open question, all right? This question can be understood in different ways, many ways, okay? So you define, okay, this setting, okay? And you define the efficiency and effectiveness, okay? Then you think of what scientific celebrities is it good for efficiency, effectiveness, something like that. Okay. So we can have a lot of different answers from this question. Understand that? Okay. So how long do you need? About 10 minutes? 15 minutes? How do you think?
5 to 10.
5 to 10? Okay, I'm going to give you 10. Okay, so let's try. 5 to 10. Okay, you can also the chatting screen, okay, to communicate. Okay, I just want to let you know. Okay, so if you want to, say something in chatting screen, please do so. Okay, you don't need to turn off and on, your microphone every time. Okay. All right. So how many teams? We have 4 teams. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Okay. and you go your own room, team 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Then please go ahead and talk about 2 questions I gave you.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
All right. All right. Okay. It seems that everyone is here. We get back. Okay. So, how was it? Your team meeting? Was it good? Okay. Rory, is 10 minutes okay?
Say that again.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone's here? All right, Jamal is here. Okay. So you had 10 minutes to talk about these questions. Okay. Then this time we are going to talk about as a whole class. Okay. This is just, based on your understanding. Okay. In your team meeting. Okay. So we are going to talk about these questions. Okay. These questions as a whole group. Okay. You can say anything. Okay. You can discuss anything. Okay. If anything, in your mind, just, jump into the discussions. Okay. All right. So what is the story about? Please share the story with your team. Okay. So anybody can start. What is the story about? What is the story? Okay. Tell me what story is. Anyone? Just start.
The story, to me, like basically at the beginning, the framework of the beginning, it just goes into how a celebrity status can affect the scientific world and research and that. And then it goes into a case study. I can't pronounce his name, but it was talking about the South Korean doctor that learned how to, cell biologist that learned how to clone a cow, and how once he was able to do that, before his work hadn't really been noticed, and once he was able to do that, and I think it was 1999, that he basically skyrocketed to stardom, and how it showed graphs and statistics on how once that happened, the amount of money that was going to the research and that field in science, the amount of people that were looking into it, and all that. And even after his story of fabrication came out and his stardom declined, there was still a significant amount of money and people still going into that field. Rather in the real world, when you see stuff like that happen to celebrities, that majority of people deem celebrities, they get caught up in scandal. People stop looking at it. People stop going into that or doing that. But in the scientific world, people were still going there.
All right, great. It's good. That's good. Good summary. Okay. So, anyone else to add up something? Muff?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep. Any comment?
So basically what I was saying is like you last class you said like basically efficiency is basically output divided by input.
Yes.
And so I think what the paper showed is that as these scientists kind of become more famous and like in their field, they're able, like, the government gives them more money and grants to do research, allowing them to like further the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's effective because like it brings in more people to the field of research that like otherwise would go on and study other things that aren't, like, I guess, that are just different than, like, if the guy was studying stem cell research, like maybe not a lot of scientists would want to go into that field at that time, but they see how how much money is going into the research and how big it's getting, and it causes them to like change their medical or their field and go into the STEM research.
Mm-hmm. That is the key point of this paper. Actually, I didn't know it. Scientific celebrity is helpful for efficiency and effectiveness. So you define efficiency in this context. You define efficiency as a more scientific discoveries. Okay.
Yeah.
With less resources. So scientific celebrity is very good at to create the scientific discoveries. So efficiency is good, and effectiveness is influence to others, right? Influence to others. Okay, make others to create, all right? To create more discoveries. Okay, bring more people and create effectiveness, it's good, all right? But for the first time, when I thought of this project, okay, yeah, I thought about the positive side first, okay? Something like the efficiency, effectiveness, and then, but there was a negative side too, okay, in this context, okay. If a scientific celebrity, okay, monopolize, okay, using his fame, okay, and he monopolized the resources that should be into the scientific field, okay, and he just grab it, he use it, okay, by himself. Then he's gonna have a lot of opportunities, many opportunities to proceed his research. Okay? But how about other scientists? Okay? The resource is limited. Probably they do not, okay, have enough resource to do their own research. Okay? So, all right, scientific celebrities are celebrities, but he is just individual scientist. Okay? So he has a very clear limitation to create scientific discoveries by himself. Huh? Even he has a lot of resources. Then other scientists. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I guess another negative effect of that may be that scientists, celebrities may be tempted to go into greater market potentials and reorient their research.
All right. Is it negative?
It was just mentioned in the paper.
Okay.
There's like a negative spillover.
All right. That's right. Yeah. So it is negative too. So scientific field it has own nature, but sometimes the scientific celebrity can distort the nature of science, okay, with public pain. All right, it's a problem too. Okay, problematic too. So I just thought about positive and negative, and which one is dominating effect in the science field. Huh? I didn't know it. Then I found some people. Okay, who is very famous in this field. Then I just asked them, you know what? I am interested in scientific celebrity. Okay, this is a properly new terminology. Okay, not many people use it, okay, because this is new field. Then how do you think about that? Is it he or she benefit or not benefit for the society? Then nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows. That's why I started this project. So I just collect some information, okay, about this paper. Then I set up a research and I collect data and I just saw it. But it gives very interesting result. Okay. All right. Anything else you wanna add up about the story? About the story? No? Okay. So the key point is this: efficiency and effectiveness. Okay. Efficiency, effectiveness. Is it helpful for it? Okay. So the second question, anyone please tell me your idea. Efficiency, effectiveness in the framework of this efficiency, effectiveness. How did you read the paper? How did you read this story?
I liked how the paper was, the framework of the paper. I liked how it, the layout of it, I thought it was very effective, of how it gave a really good introduction and then gave some statistics and everything, and then went into the case study and then provided the statistics as a result of the case study. And I thought that was very effective, and it was very efficient of how it brought you into it, and then the layout of everything. and it was overall a really good paper.
All right. So you analyzed my paper itself in terms of efficiency, effectiveness. Okay, very good, very good. So efficiency, effectiveness of the outlet of paper and contents of paper. Okay, it's a good point too. It's a good point too. Okay, I didn't think of that way. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. How about the scientific celebrities and other scientists and society? Okay, in terms of efficiency, effectiveness beyond my paper. Okay, how do you think about that? There are many actors in this story: a scientific celebrity, competitors, and society. Very big society. Okay, I can just think of 3 levels at this point. Okay, how do you think about that? You don't need to talk about all the levels, all the actors, but anyone, can start. Buff.
Well, I would say like the scientific celebrities by themselves, like they're efficient as like they can grow the field, but with how effective they are, I feel like they take some in this case, like the guy, like the scientist was like fraud. So basically, he kind of like took money away from from basically other fields getting discovered.
Okay.
So like he wasn't really he would like the scientific celebrity by himself wasn't effective.
Okay, great. Good point. So a scientist celebrity is an individual scientist. So, as we talked about, it is good for the creating some scientific discoveries. Actually, he already done. Okay? But using his fame, he has a possibility to, distort the effective allocation of resources. It's a good point. Okay. So scientific celebrity can be a benefit for society, but there is a possibility that we do not see that the efficiency, okay, in the reality. Okay. All right, it's a good point, Murph. Okay. Anybody else? How about competitors? Or
I think other scientists may see that if they are able to gain a following, to gain support for their programs or whatever they're studying, then I think other scientists and competitors will try to do the same thing as well.
All right. It's a competition, right, Gavin? So science is a competition, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the nature of science. It's a competition, actually. Okay. So leading is like a business field. Okay? A leading company and competing companies. Okay. And a leading scientist and competing scientist. It's like a competition. So in the competition, there are many possibilities to be ineffective. Okay? Each actor, each scientist, or each company actually try to pursue efficiency internally, right? Because it is controllable. Output divided by input. Okay? But effectiveness, okay? Probably in this effectiveness, okay? Probably this will be very different from the efficiency. So competition, the nature of competition, if you understand the nature of competitions, scientists, scientific celebrity, and competing scientists, probably you can more deeply understand the relationship between this. Okay, it's a good point. All right. Anybody else? Any other point? About the society, the highest level. society in terms of efficiency and effectiveness. Have you thought about that?
I kind of thought it was interesting that like after the scientist was like you found out that he was like a fraud, like the stem cell kind of like it's still like kept increasing basically like like they didn't really stop defunding the program after they found out that his findings weren't accurate.
All right. Yeah, there are both sides in my perspective. Fraud in the research. That was not so effective in the society, for the society, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. But actually, I was a little surprised after the fraud things that happens. And then I thought other scientists would not continue that field because
Yeah.
but research grants and some societal attention was decreased drastically.
Mhm.
But actually the number says, the data says, the number of people and number of discoveries will increase. So fraud thing is not so rating in the moral standard, but actually as a consequence, it creates the continuation of the field and even the increase of the numbers.
Mhm.
It was very interesting. Okay. So, all right. So think about that. All right. And this simple question. All right. Just discuss the paper in the frame of efficiency and effectiveness. So far, we talked about 3 levels. Okay, societal level, and a scientific celebrity level, and also competitors level. Okay? So this is how we think. Okay? The first time you read the paper, and your idea was just focus on a scientific celebrity, what I am talking about in the paper. All right? But when you think a little bit more, you can identify, oh, some competing scientists, actually, they have their own story. All right? And society, it has its own story. Okay? So you can enlarge, you can expand your ideas, okay? Your thought in different levels, different areas. Okay? Then your understanding is getting more detailed, okay? And getting more comprehensive. This is what I want to see it in this class, in each topic. Okay? But again, this class is not the transfer of knowledge. Okay, I don't have any specific knowledge to transfer. Something like a finance class, accounting class, I don't have many things to explain. Okay? Yeah. It's very easy to transfer knowledge because if I understand the knowledge, I can transfer. Okay, some formulas, finance things, accounting, regulations. Okay, but this class is not all about that. Okay, this class is practice to think based on the reality. Okay, so think, and then when you practice to think, okay, then you go forward. Okay, something like other fields, finance, marketing, accounting, and management, and some other fields, operation management. Okay, then you can just use this, practice to observe all the knowledge, okay, in the business school, in your, next year program, next semester. Okay? All right, great discussions. All right, good. I'm very, very happy. With your discussions and probably your understanding level. So I just want to sum up, okay? I just want to overview this study. Okay, so if you miss anything, okay, if you don't understand anything, you can ask me. Okay, so scientific celebrity, we already talked about that. Okay, so this paper is a very simple paper. Okay, a scientific celebrity is beneficial for society or not? Okay? I didn't have any answer for it, so I started this project. Okay, and scientific celebrities. Okay, who is it? Who is this guy?
Albert Einstein,
Yes, that's right. Stephen Hawking and this guy?
Thomas Edison.
That's right. Okay. Actually, they are scientific celebrities because they have public fames. You know this guy? This guy is very famous. You know this guy? No, no. Probably you don't know these guys. These guys are very famous in their fields. Okay. And they are all my co-authors. Okay. My research partners. Okay. It's a David Koo. It's a Georgia Tech guy. And Eliza Edelman, MIT guy, and the Frank Rodman is a Georgia Tech guy again. Okay, they're all my co-authors. They are big names in the field, but they don't have public fame, so they are not. Okay, scientific celebrities. Okay, so we can distinguish the scientific celebrities in this way. Okay. So, two questions. Do scientific celebrities promote the knowledge creation of other scientists? What mechanisms account for their impact on the knowledge creation of other scientists? So, to answer these questions, okay, we talked about already this, so skip it. I just used the amplifier setting about the Dr. Woo-Seok Hwang, South Korean, the stem cell scientist. Okay. His fame was skyrocket and drastically fall by the force of the research. Okay, so you read the paper, so I'm gonna skip this. Okay, this is my hypothesis. So I felt about this phenomenon. So there's a scientific celebrity. Okay, probably if the scientific celebrity has a public fame, some people want to get into the field to follow him. Okay, so I will see new entry of scientists in the field. Okay, and also public research funding will increase. Okay? I just expect there's two related, the phenomenon, and then these two will helpful to increase knowledge creation by other scientists. Okay? This is my hypothesis. So simple 3 hypotheses. Okay? I generated it. Then I test it. Look at this. Dr. Woo-Seok Hwang, Dr. Hwang's fame was started about this point, 2002, 2003. Okay? And his fame was totally destroyed in 2006 here. Yeah? And then look at this number of the biotech patents by South Korean scientists. Even 2006, it is increased. Oh, what is this? Okay? So when I collect all the data and I see for the first time the data, it was very interesting. Oh, look at this. His fame, okay, is destroyed at this point. Probably this number should go that way, something like that. Okay, but actually it increased and in some point exploded. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is very interesting. Okay, this is very interesting. Then I thought, okay, oh, a scientific celebrity is good. Not just what I thought. Okay? The point. Actually, a scientific celebrity can ignite, okay? Can create a chance to expand the industry. Okay? So this was very promising and very interesting, okay, findings. Okay? Then I do some regressions. Okay, this time I just wanna briefly explain. Do we have a time? What time is class finished? Oh, 10:45. Okay, we have time. All right. This time, I just briefly explain. All right, this is the easy part. Briefly explain the regressions. Okay. So I assume that you do not take the regression class yet, statistics class or econometrics class yet. So regressions. Have you heard about dependent variable and independent variables? Anyone? In any class, in any
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, great. All right. So what is dependent variable and what is independent variables? Josh, can
An
you?
independent variable is something that does even the outside cannot affect it. It's independent in its own sense. A dependent variable is when something else changes, it goes along with it. It changes along with something. It's dependent on another aspect of the formula.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So dependent variable is my proposed variable, the variable I want to see. Okay. And independent variables are given. All right. Independent variables are given. So I want to see how my dependent variable is changing by changing in independent variables. Okay. The details should be discussed in your statistics class. So I just want to give you a very simple sense about the how to read regression table at this point. I'm not gonna discuss. I'm not gonna replicate your statistics class. So dependent variable, right? Dependent variable is changing, okay, by your independent variables. Okay, so independent variables impact dependent variable. Okay, so look at this table. It says it's a model 1, 2, 3. Okay, random FX regressions. Okay, there are many types of regressions. Okay, so probably at this point, you don't need to think of this. Okay, and model 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have 8 models. One model is one equation. Okay, so this is a regression model. I'm talking about how to read the regression tables. Okay, this will be very helpful for your future career when you get up higher, the level of the career. Okay, so dependent variable model 1. Look at this. Okay, model 1. All right. Each model has a separate model. So look at model 1. Okay. And dependent variable is new entries. That means the number of people entered in the field. So this is this new entry of scientists. This is dependent variable. So this new entry of scientists is impacted by scientific celebrity. Okay. This is my hypothesis. So dependent variable, new entries. Independent variables, Huang's news, number of news about Dr. Huang, and Huang's patents, a number of patents developed by him and his co-workers. Okay? And these are 2 independent variables I'm interested in. Then these are just control variables. Okay? So look at this. In model 1, I just include control variables only. Okay, so there is nothing special about independent variables. In model 2, new entries, T is the dependent variable, and once news and once patterns are included in the model, and look at this, regression coefficient, and this is a standard errors. Okay. So regression coefficient is great compared with the standard errors. Okay. Then this regression coefficient has a significant effect. Okay. So I denote 3 stars here. Look at this. 3 stars. Denote significance at 1%, 5%, 10% is the 1%. Okay. So it is once news significantly impact new entries. So my hypothesis is supported. Okay. This is the logic. This is the logic how to support my hypothesis in terms of econometrics or statistics. And also, once patterns, look at this, it's also positive and significant. So my second hypothesis, this one, that the celebrity impact public research funding. Yes, this is a hypothesis. This is supported. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one. I'm sorry. The first one, new entries. This is supported. And look at this, new entry T+1, T+2. Okay, because once effect can be dragged. Okay, can be lagged. Okay? So in the next year, more people get into the field. So that means this is T is the same year of this data, but T+1 is the next year of the following year of this data, and T+2 is the 2 years later, okay, of this data. So I just tested and positive and significant again and again. So, oh, it's good. It's good. My hypothesis is supported. Even scientific celebrities can impact, the year after, the 2 year after. Okay, actually, from that year, scientific celebrities, emerge. Yeah, and this is exactly the same way, right? Government funding. So this is about hypothesis 2, scientific celebrity impact public research funding. Okay. Then look at this. No independent variables, but independent variables, T, government funding T, and government funding T+1 and T+2, and positive and significant, on and on. Okay. So my hypothesis 2 is also supported. Okay. So far so good. Any question?
Dr. Kong, if isn't like the coefficient has to be double the what is it? Or like how do you know like if the coefficient is significant?
Oh, coefficient is significant. That means, okay, look at this. Okay, let's example of this. Okay. So this is 0.412 and standard error is very, very small. Okay. So regression coefficient is divided by standard errors. Right? Standard errors. If this resulting number is great, like greater than 4, 5, 6, or whatever, okay, then the regression, coefficients are significant.
Okay.
This followed by T statistics. Probably you will learn and this mechanism in your statistics class.
Okay.
All right, great. Then this is how to read this table. So you don't need to understand everything at this point. You will have a good chance to learn this, but it's not a simple the learning process. So, but if you understand this, okay, not just all the mechanisms, how to read the table and how to understand table briefly, then it will be very helpful. Okay, very helpful to be a more professional, the manager, okay, in your future career. That's why I introduced this. Probably next time we will talk about this again. Then you will be much more comfortable. Then look at this. Again, same logic. Okay, model 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And depend variable, competitors' patents. Number of patents be created by competitors, other scientists. Okay, depend variables. Yeah. Then function use, function patents, independent variables again. Okay. Then I found that function use, function patents have positive and significant on the competitor's patent t plus 1, t plus 2. So my third hypothesis, scientific celebrity increase knowledge creation by other scientists is supported. This is how to understand the regression tables. Okay, so this is the briefest, the most brief, explanation about how to read these tables. So all three my hypotheses are supported. Okay? How about that? Any question? Okay, so for the next paper, you will see a regression table again. So at this time, you will have a better chance to think about the regression table too. Okay. So next paper will include regression tables. If you have any question when you read the paper, and we can talk about that. All right. Now, today, we just focus on the story part of the scientific celebrity. And next time, probably your understanding level or your curiosity, you will more curious about some numbers. Then we'll talk about that. Okay. I'm the author of this paper, so I can answer everything. All right. I can answer everything. All right. Then, so implications. Is scientific celebrity beneficial? Yes. I found an answer. And managers, policymakers may need to perceive the emergence of scientific celebrities as an implication of imminent radical changes to the technological managerial environment. Okay, so in the management, there are two parts. Okay, in broad sense, environment and operations. Okay, so in the syllabus, I show a simple, diagrams, environments, and operation inside. Okay, so scientific celebrity can be a very important impact in your managerial technological environment. That's the conclusion of this paper. That's it. Any question? Any comments you want to add up? All right, so what time is it? Okay, 10:30, great. Okay, so this is pretty much about today's meeting. How was it?
Good. It was a really good meeting.
All right.
It was good.
Yeah, great meeting.
All right, great.
Good.
All right.
Question: will we be quizzed on this, or can we get the PowerPoint if we do get quizzed or tested on this?
No. We are not gonna test on this paper. Just enjoy to read, and this is a test. Okay. I'm not so the grade oriented professor. Okay. So I'm gonna follow my syllabus to grade your performance, but I don't believe your grade is so important in your learning process. Okay? So your learning should be very free. Okay, your learning should be very, trial, and something like that. So I'm not like a very textbook oriented professor, so you cannot expect it. Okay. All right. So next time we're gonna talk about my other paper, right? What's that? Yes, VC and NIHFX paper. This time, you will much easier to read my paper because you already done the first one, and second one is much easier. Okay. And your team names. Please send me your email. Send me an email with your team names. So we have 4 teams, number 1, 2, 3, 4. And your team names, please send me your team name. And if your name is not in the list of the teams, please let me know. Okay, I will update it. Okay, I will update it. So before we go in, any question, comments? All right, guys, you are free to go. Thank you so much. It was great discussions. I'm really happy with your, this meeting, first meeting and discussion.